and welcome back to the channel. It has been quite a while, has it not? In fact, it has been more than 2 months since the last time I posted on the channel, something which has never happened before in the history of the channel. So this video aims at just catching up, telling you a little bit about, why this break has happened, and all the thoughts and feelings I have about what's been going on in terms of style and stuff like that. I'm also going to introduce you to this baby. So this video aims to just catch up, and then I'm gonna resume normal content. But if you're interested in watching this video, grab a tea, grab a coffee, grab your makeup so you can get ready as we have a chat or something like that. So first and foremost, I have just been really busy. It's sort of one of those things in life where, everything just comes at you at once. I've had quite a few challenges. I'm fine emotionally and mentally. I've just had so much to see to. And because of that, style and clothing just took a complete backseat to things that I had the energy to care about, to be honest. I feel like it's sort of like a hierarchy of needs things where I've had so much stuff to do and process. Clothes have just been so low on my list of priorities. But one thing I will say though is that one of the reasons I think I've had the possibility to feel and perceive that way is because I already, at least something that has really helped is that I already have an extremely well curated wardrobe. The legwork, the back work, or whatever you call it, of doing that is certainly paying off now, because being really busy and still being someone who really cares about style and how I'm dressed and present myself, it has been really helpful to not have to give it much thought, but then have a wardrobe who completely supports going through a time like that. Obviously I have my entire color scheme set. I have multiple pieces that I don't mind wearing every single day over and over again, and all of that has just been so helpful. So even though I've been going through this time period, I still feel like I've been looking good every single day, which sort of allows me to, again, go through a time like that. But because I have been so busy with other stuff and I've cared less about clothing and style, I have also not really bought anything at all actually in the past couple of months. So in that sense, you haven't really missed out on anything. And there's another reason for that, which has something to do with the bag, so we're going to talk about that as well. But I just wanted to say, maybe I'll just add that I've had to move. You might recognize or see that the backdrop I have right now is not the same, and the move was pretty hectic. I didn't manage to find somewhere new in time, so I moved in with a friend in her guest room. I was really fortunate that was an option for me. I moved into her guest room, and then with all my boxes, and I didn't unpack anything, so I was also just living wearing the same articles of clothing literally over and over every single day. And then I did find something a month after, and that is where I've moved into now. I moved in literally 2 days ago, so I'm sort of set-ish, but I still need a bunch of furniture and stuff like that. But I have mostly unpacked. But something that is just so lovely about the new spot is that it's a much easier place to film content, where at the other flat that I had, I sort of had to rearrange literally all of my furniture and bring stuff from the basement, blah blah blah, to make a video with my clothing rack. Or it was just it was sort of a hassle every time I had to film something with a lot of props and stuff like that, and it was just it made the whole process not as enjoyable for me. So that is definitely going to change here. I will be showing you my clothing rack in a bit as well, because I'm so excited that I now get to have something like that, because at the old flat, I had almost no closet space. But so that is definitely a huge improvement for me and for creating these videos. But then I don't want to drag out the suspense any further. I just want to show you guys, of course, this baby, because I bought this one right after posting my last video, and that's not a coincidence. These two things go hand in hand, and that is because after getting the bag, or first and foremost, I bought the bag and I am extremely pleased with it. I did share on my Instagram that, I mean, it's so impractical, and it doesn't have a closing mechanism, and it is super easy to scratch because of the soft leather. And also whenever you wear it, whenever you're wearing something slightly more bulky on top, you know, it doesn't stay put like this on your shoulder. It also doesn't have any feet, so it's just staining on the leather. Like, there's all these things with this bag, and still it was the totally right decision for me, because it is ultimately the bag that suits my aesthetic the most, and that is just what's most important to me. You know, we all have different values when it comes to different areas, and for me, when it comes to clothing, aesthetic is just so high on the list. So I am so pleased with this, and I think it is, oh my god, it's so cute. So yeah, very pleased with it. However, the whole process of deciding on buying the bag, I mean, you probably know, but that took such a long time, and I also spent a really long time seeing if I could find something that I would be just as in love with, which was more practical, because again, I do wear the things that I buy over and over and over again, especially basics such as this, like bags and coats and boots. So yeah, I wanted something that I could wear many times and still having it look really good. So I spent so much time looking for maybe an equivalent bag that I could also love. I looked at the Gucci Jackie, I looked at the Celine Ava, I looked at a bunch of other bags, but ultimately I did decide that this is the one I wanted. And what I ended up asking myself that sort of made me buy the bag in the end is I asked myself, okay, if this bag gets scratched, will that cause me to not want to wear it? And the answer is just no. Because the thing is, I'm just really not a perfectionist. If you're regular to my channel, you know that already. Like, that's probably not gonna bother me. And now that I have it, I know for sure that that's definitely the case. Also because whenever it gets a little bit darker, which, I mean, I usually like to wear it for stuff like that, like going out for drinks or for dinner, stuff like that. And as soon as it's just slightly dark outside, you know, you don't really pick up on the details of the bag as much. But because this process was so long and I wanted the bag for so long, it had sort of become a chase trying to decide on this purchase. And once I then got the bag, even though it was the right purchase and I really am appreciative of the bag, it was still a really almost sort of like deflating feeling when I then bought it, which is because wanting something is so much more potent than having something, which was sort of a realization. And after I bought the bag, you know, my mind instantly went to, okay, what's next on the wish list? Like, what do I want now? And we can just, there's always going to be something that we want. We can continue to chase the feeling of wanting, which is sort of interesting because we chase the wanting to make the wanting go away. But the only thing that can make the wanting go away is to appreciate the things that we already have. And I mean, obviously it's gonna, for most of us, it's gonna have to be some sort of balance. It's not like I'm not gonna buy things again at all. It was just like, yeah, a bit of a feeling or emotional process that I went through. And like I said, it was very deflating. And, you know, I already have a wardrobe that I'm extremely appreciative of. I have some really, really good pieces, like some pieces that I just truly love and appreciate, even though they're, you know, material goods, and they really do give me joy. Sort of like, you know, with the boots, I always wear my black skirt, something like my, you know, the Evelyn bag, and then also my Burberry trench coat or my wool coats. Like, all of these things I really, really like. And the feeling of having and being grateful and appreciative of what you already have, it might not be that potent of a feeling, but it certainly is more wholesome and sustainable. So I've just really been indulging myself in that feeling, which has been more supporting as I've been going through other things that has nothing to do with clothing. Because again, you know, I do really care about looks and style, so having sort of like a set style and being able to wear the same 10 outfits while I've been going through some other things has been just so nice and godsend. But yeah, here she is. It's definitely the perfect fit for me. So I think there's just one more thing I'm going to touch on, just because this is a catch-up video, but after that I will try my best to just let this go completely, because I do bring up some version of this sometimes in some of my videos, and I think at this point there's just no point to it, because this is the internet. It's always going to be like that. But I also feel like I was burning out creating my content a little bit, because I felt like I was going against my own evolving to create the content that I felt like was expected of me. Because once people sort of create this like one-sided relationship with the persona you have online, almost it almost is as if you become this like character or symbol of something. And for a lot of people, you know, watching me, I'm sure that that's stuff like, you know, not buying any fast fashion, not buying any polyester. And then once you see me doing these things that I preach, you know, you best not do, there's sort of like a disconnect. And I do understand that, but like, you know, I'm not a character. I evolve. I, you know, have my own lessons, and then I take with me what is important then, and then I move on, and I make new mistakes, stuff like that. So going on, I'm definitely going to really focus on creating the content that I want and letting myself evolve. And I mean, again, yes, this is the internet. To be fair, like the audience that I have, you guys, it's wow. You are maybe the nicest audience on the planet. And even though you're really nice, you're also not shy, like sharing your appropriate and thoughtful opinions on the stuff I put out. And I just love that. I love that there's a middle ground where, we're kind of, or I feel like it's a mature and nice discourse, but there's still room to not agree on everything. So yeah, I really love that. But then, you know, it's not so much that I want to necessarily meet people's expectations on at least on a conscious level. But then I guess when it subconsciously comes to it, you know, I try to take in all the suggestions and criticism I get, but I can't do that. I literally cannot please everyone. And I mean, that is just something that's hard to come to terms with when you all of a sudden have a bunch of people watching. But that is, to the best of my ability, the last time I'm going to mention that. I just want to address it in terms of, you know, accidentally maybe not always creating the content that would best align with what I want to create. So I'm going to focus on letting go and just do what I want to do. And you know, obviously the channel is about style and clothing, but we also like to talk a little bit more in depth. So I think there's definitely going to be more of that as well. Yeah, we'll wait and see. But for now, I just kind of want to show you around a little bit. I feel like I could probably show you, look at this really nice spot, this like big mirror, and then I have the clothing rack behind. And then how cute is this? Like, how cute is the hobo bag? Yeah, that was definitely the right decision. Here I have a little bit of like a temporary setup until I get some more furniture. That's not ideal. And then yeah, I'm starting to, you know, put things on the rack over here. Some things are gonna go in my entrance. So some of these things are gonna go, and then I'm gonna put some other things on. But yeah, I'm probably gonna do a color coding over here. And I know some of you guys always tell me to get rid of these hangers, but honestly, if I do that, then I don't have room for my things. So yeah. So now spring is coming, and I just literally took my Burberry trench out like 2 or 3 days ago. So I've been wearing that for a couple of days, and oh my god, even though I appreciate my winter things so much, I am just so excited to, yeah, bring some warm weather items back out. So now comes all of the spring content, which spring brings renewal, which I feel like is exactly what I need right now going forward. I hope you enjoyed this catch up. It is really, really nice to see you guys again, but I did really need this time. So yeah, I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.